Megavanan, everybody, and welcome to the stream. My name is Talisian. There you are, and here I am, and hello, Willy Billy Silly. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Today was an exciting news day today. We had a lot of stuff going on. Talk about it all while I'm playing Lord of the Rings online, because one of the pieces of information is that the Angmar and Mordor servers should, I'm hoping I'm correct, should have the Riders of Rohan expansion released. So we're going to be heading deep first into that today. Let me reset my LOTRO points to where they're supposed to be at for the start of a stream. And let's get in. Yes, as I mentioned, today was a huge news today. First off, Guild Wars Reforged went live today. Basically, an update to Guild Wars. If you own any of it, you get the base game plus the first 3 expansion packs for free. Don't have to pay for them. There are some add-ons that you can pick up in the Lord of the Rings store. They also had the dev chat for Diablo 4 Season 11 today, where they talked about the Season of Divine Intervention and everything that it pertains to. And for as far as Lord of the Rings is concerned, they went ahead and released the Kingdoms of Harad expansion on the main servers. As you know, Angmar and Mordor are what other games would call time-locked or progression-advanced servers. We just got, hopefully, let me see here real quick. Yes, we just got Riders of Rohan released today because the person I'm standing in front of, Galadriel, has the next quest in line. And I got some updates here. Let's see, what's this? Deed bestowed. Deed bestowed. What deed was bestowed? Let me see if I can find out. Okay, move those. New deed to the aid of Rohan. I got a couple of titles: The Spirit's Guide, The Respected Voice, The Bearer of Truth, and Benevolence Incarnate. And completed to the aid of Rohan. Let's see here. Where Rohan awaits you. 20 marks and a letter, of all things. And the quest item, let me go ahead and pull this up. There we go. Rohan awaits. Shantrantra. I write this letter in haste, for many great tasks are at hand, and I have been long away. I make for Rohan this very moment, and you should ride there with all the speed you can muster. I cannot see the future, but I know you will be sorely needed in that land before the end. If you befriend the horse lords there, they will likely gift you with one of their own great steeds. You will need a new steed. You will see. War is coming. G. Cross the bridge into Rohan and talk to a Rohirrim, and this quest must be turned in before completing the quests of Langhold. So we will grab that quest real quick. Let me see what other quests I can... I have a bunch of quests still in the Brownlands that I am not going to worry about. I'll come back and clean them up later. Oh, hello, Desdecardo. Desdecardo, good seeing you, my friend. We're on the way to Rohan! Ah! Rohan! Yes, I know, everyone's favorite expansion. But before we talk to Galadriel and we get the opening quest, every day is a hobbit's birthday. And, oh, I'm disconnected here real quick. Come on, reconnect. Oh, come on. I'm disconnected again. Okay, well, hopefully we'll get this live and get it fixed. But every day is a hobbit's birthday, so let's open up my present real quick. Silver scraps and 50 virtue XP. There we go. Okay, I'm reconnected. That's getting me back online here. Apologize for the delay, those of you who are watching on Twitch. Looks like we accidentally got disconnected. Looks like everything is back now, so we'll go ahead and continue on real quick. So hopefully this will, hopefully that'll be the end of all the problems that we'll have today. Okay, problems? Go away, go away, go away. All right, let's go ahead and talk to Galadriel, and we'll pick up the next quest.
It is nearly time for you to depart again.
Book 7, Chapter 1, The Land of the Elf Queen. Within the woods of Lorien, guests of Lord Celeborn can recover from their hurts and the toils of the long road. It is my hope this reprieve was of use to you. In these dark days, no time of rest is as long as we might wish it to be. It is nearly time for you to depart again. With the motion of one lovely arm, Galadriel directs your gaze to the flets that cling to the bole of the tree. Nona has made a full recovery as she could have, and a greater one than I expected of her. She is waiting for you at the ladder down from these flets. I have made it known that it is my will she be permitted free movement within the hedges of Caras Galadriel. Show her the city of Galadriel, Xandrantra. We will speak in my garden when she is satisfied with her exploration of what this city has to offer. Sounds good to me. I'm glad that Nona is feeling better. For those of you who were unaware, at the tail end of last session, Nona and I encountered a weakened Nazgul, and she was pierced by a Morgul blade. Luckily, she has recovered, thanks to the help of Galadriel. And there she is right there.
They tell me I was close to death. I remember very little of it.
Nona smiles weakly at you. They tell me I was close to death. I remember very little of it. I remember a creeping shadow and a chill cold as ice. And her eyes narrow. The men of that town would not heal me unless I gave them my sword. But you spoke against it, and so did that man. What was his name? Horn? I should thank him for that kindness, even though he is of the horse folk, and we should not trust him too far. The Lady of the Elfwoods told me I could see her city before we departed if I were well enough, and I tell you that I am. This place is a marvel, though my own people would not wish to live here. Bring me to some of the notable locations of this city. We have some time before we must depart, do we not? Of course we do. I'll gladly show you the city. And there we go. Let me mount up my horse. And we'll head to a couple of these places around the city and show Nona the sights of Caras Galadriel before we head off to Rohan, where she will feel even more afraid of things and more unsecure. And the first place should be right over there.
This is a place of quiet contemplation.
This is Kelurian, the White Fountain of Caras Galadriel. It is a place for quiet contemplation where elves of Lorien are free to enjoy the sound of the water in the pool and feel the soft breezes on their skin. Hurrian looks at Nona dismissively. You can tell that despite Galadriel's words, not every elf is pleased to have the Dunlending girl within the borders of Lorien. Others can admire the fountain as well, of course. Hurrian finishes with a sniff. How rude! But Nona does admire the delicate carving of the swan fountain. That's good. And the next place is over this way. I might want to go ahead and stop off before we leave here with some of the faction vendors, because I should have some rewards I can pick up. Actually, I wonder if that's where we're headed. Oh, let's go up top here. I think she's up top. I mean, as far as item rewards are probably not going to be worthwhile, but there may be some other faction rewards that I could definitely take advantage of. Ah. And there she is.
We see so few visitors to Kara's Galathon.
I am sorry. We see so few visitors to Galadriel that our hospitality is not what perhaps it should be. It must seem a very confusing place, with flats built upon multiple levels of the Great Maryland, with winding stairs and bridges crossing the breezy gaps. Anglamel laughs, a delicate musical sound. You catch Nona's brief scowl at the airy tones, but Anglamel does not. I've heard it said that Galadriel is a maze-like as are the cities of the dwarves. But if this slander is true, at least our maze is above ground, lit by the glow of the sun and the cool glimmer of the stars. I would forgive any amount of confusion for those dual boons. Nona looks out to the void between the flats and says nothing.
It is a wonder, I will grant you that.
When did the elves find the time to construct such a place? It is a wonder, I will grant you that, but I prefer the homes of my own people. I can understand. And next we need to head down south. So, as I was mentioning earlier, I watched the developer stream for Diablo 4, and I like what's going to be happening with Season 11. I think it's going to be very interesting. They're not going to have the Chaos Armor, but they're going to be adding a kind of like a way to another crafting. They're changing some of the crafting modes on it and adding one that basically makes the item uncraftable after this, but it's a huge boon to the item. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how well that plays out. Let's see. We want to head down this way. I think right here is where we want to go. And actually, this is where I wanted to go before I left the city. This is up at the top of here is where all the faction-related vendors are, and my faction with the Galadriel is maxed out. So I definitely want to, if I don't fall, want to go ahead and see if there's any rewards I can pick up, like the horse. Let's see. There are all the class trainers there, and I think up one more level is where the faction vendors are. I want to say they're up here. Though I could be wrong. I guess I was wrong. Okay. So we'll head back down. And we'll talk to Ludhirus.
The Malon trees of Lothlorien are the mightiest to be found anywhere.
In these, the waning years of Middle-earth. It was once not so, but the passage of time and the spreading of darkness has caused much of what was great to wither and diminish. So it would be with the elves, were we to stay. Already we have stayed too long. Ludhirus looks sideways at Nona, but she seems not to notice. It will soon be the time of man, and who can say how that race will deal with the challenges that lie ahead. These Melons support the Terlane Galadriel, the flets upon which much of the work of our city is done. Without them, little could be accomplished. I hope the same will not be said of the elves when we have departed. Nona observes the mighty Malorn trees, but says nothing.
Galadriel wanted to speak with you in her garden?
For an elf, she seems to have a great deal of inner strength. She reminds me of a matriarch of the Algrageg. Okay. Well, we will definitely go talk to her next in her garden. Just trying to remember where the factioners are. Maybe they're up this ladder. Yeah, here they are. Barterer, barterer, barterer.
What business have you with the Lord and Lady?
Wildlife of Middle-earth tomes. That's for... For 1 minute, tactical skill. 2 tinder boxes. Create a single campfire in the wild and a lot of gear that I cannot use, maximum level of 70. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Description of benefits. Okay. Oh, wrong way. Let's check here.
The Dark Lord's eye turns toward Lorien, but he cannot yet see us.
Yeah, these are all low-level stuff. Lorien advanced tactics, armor plating, elven cloth lining, robe of Lorien recipe, gloves. That's all light armor, but it's well past what I need.
Hail! What brings you to Lorien?
Prized Galadriel steed. I need... Do I still have it? No, I don't. But I need 30 golden leaves, and I only have 3 and 50, so I guess it's going to be a little while before I get it. I do want the steed, though. I'll be honest.
With the Lord and Lady?
Yeah, we'll have to come back. I'll have to do a whole bunch of more deeding and stuff around here, so we'll head down. Because I do want the Galadriel, the horse of the Galadriel. Okay, so let's head to Galadriel's garden. And we will go ahead and continue on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, now I should be able to hop on my horse easier. A hobby horse, of course. The hunter who has taken down the Bane of Ruin rides a hobby horse into battle. Lay sigh. I hope I'm going the right way. Yes, I think I am. I hope I am. I better be. Though sometimes I'm not even sure. Nope. Maybe not. Oh, here we are. Yes, I was going the right way. That's good. You have discovered Galadriel's garden.
I hope you enjoyed your respite.
It brings me sadness to tell you that it must be ended. Unfortunately, she is right. We need to head to Rohan. Book 7, Chapter 2. The Point of Decision. I spoke to you once of the danger that awaited our mutual friends on their road. Their circumstances are hidden to me, but I have seen enough in my mirror to worry. Those few of the wise who know of their errand have known a simple truth since they departed. As they move further south, they move closer to a point of decision that they can delay, but not avoid. They cannot leave the great river without making this decision. Do they continue south and east to Mordor, or do they pass through the cities of men and thereby take a longer road to the fire? The ring-bearer must go to Mordor, but who will choose to go with him? I fear for the company. Peer into my mirror and see if the visions for you are as troubling as they are for me. The point of decision. The time has come for Frodo to make an important decision.
We always knew that the Company of the Ring would face the difficult decision of what road to take. We simply did not know how soon.
Now, I could have just read the shortened account for this. They've done that for a lot of these instant plays. But I wanted to go ahead and do it. I wanted to go ahead and do this because this is a good one. Let's see. Speed of worry. Let me go ahead and Alt-P. Buff bars, options. There we go. And then I've got Quick Sting, Stone Throw, and Put on the Ring. Alright. And let me do one more thing here. There. Talk to Aragorn. We're here at Parth Galen. Well, Frodo, the choice is upon us at last. In Rivendell you were appointed the bearer of a great burden, and this company has escorted you through the wilderness, beneath the mountains, and along the great river. All of us have done so in friendship, with an understanding of the errand's great need. But now, the path splits. Boromir has said from the beginning that his road leads to Minas Tirith and the war against the Shadow that must surely be coming. But that way is not the way to the fire, and it is to the fire that your burden must be carried. What is the fate of this company? Do we go to Boromir City, to Minas Tirith, or do we cross the river and make for the Land of Shadow? Let me fix one thing here. So I can read this. What should we do? Does no one wish to speak? Well, Frodo, you are the bearer and you must choose your own way. I cannot advise you in this. What is your decision, Frodo? You need time to decide? I understand. It is no easy decision. None of these have been easy decisions. If only Gandalf were here. I've tried to play his part as best as I can, but I am not he, and the ways of wisdom are shut to me. I am sorry, but I cannot help you with this decision, Frodo. But it is yours to make, and I do not want to sway your mind, one way or the other. You shall have an hour, Frodo, and we will leave you alone to decide. We will stay here. You may walk as you will, but do not stay out of call. There are orcs about. Thoughts of Elrond rise unbidden in your mind. The ring you bear is the one, the ruling ring sought by Sauron above all else. The evil he could work with would be incurable. It must be destroyed. There are those who would use the ring and not destroy it. The temptation to use the ring, even for good, is overwhelming. That is its power and its danger. The road to the fire is dangerous, but is the only choice we can risk. Thoughts of Galadriel rise unbidden in your mind. Some rings there are that Sauron never touched, and they were not used for evil. They were used for growth and prosperity, and much beauty was wrought with these. The 3 elven rings belong to this worthwhile group. You remember the look of sadness on Galadriel's beautiful face when she spoke of this in Lothlorien. If you fail in your quest, Frodo Baggins, the workings of the 3 will be laid bare before Sauron, and he will control all. But if you should succeed, even then there will be little happiness for the elves. We will diminish, and all that was wrought with the 3 shall fade. No choice is free from sadness for my people, Frodo. But Galadriel of Lorien would be happy. We would have happened what should happen. Even should it mean all her good works in this Middle-earth disappear and are forgotten. Sort of makes my quote that I put on here before the start of today's stream a little more important, doesn't it? Thoughts of Gandalf rise unbidden in your mind. And I'm at a Mon Hen. Interesting. Few know the inner strength of hobbits as I do, Frodo Baggins. Many, even among the wise, would think this task too much for you. But I've seen the bravery of a Baggins when put to the test, and I know you will do what you must. The memory of Gandalf's warm smile fills you with a deep regret. Yes, there is sadness on any difficult road. You must prepare for more if you are to face what must lie ahead. Your friends are dear to you, but you must be prepared for this truth, Frodo Baggins. Some of them may not return from this quest. If that is why you delay, the quest is already lost. You must decide, Frodo. And then thoughts of Bilbo rise unbidden in your mind. Oh, Frodo, my lad, what have we gotten ourselves into? Trouble and bother. Your memory of the old hobbit makes you smile in spite of yourself, and you realize how badly you miss him. Something has to be done, Frodo. All these important people with their endless meetings and councils weighing important matters, when all it needs is the application of some good hobbit sense. You at least need to go to Mordor, Frodo. As long as you have the ring, it is your burden to bear as it was mine. Merry, Pippin, and Sam, they would be fine. The others will watch out for them. If you bear the ring away, as it is your task to do, our friends will be in less danger. It will not be easy, Frodo, my boy, but it would be for the best. As long as our friends accompany you, their lives are in danger, and you do not want that. Best to go alone to Mordor. Aragorn and Boromir are strong men, and they will take care of our friends. Gimli and Legolas will watch out for them as well. Sam will not understand, but in time, he may forgive you. What did Elrond say in Rivendell? That it was perilous to study the arts of the enemy as Saruman did? That must be because they can corrupt even the purest of hearts, no matter its intention at the outset. Someone approaches. You feel a presence behind you. Boromir. Frodo, there you are. I was worried about you. I know that you said you wanted to be alone, Frodo, but you are simply too important to go wandering alone. If Aragorn is correct in his guess, it means the orcs have already crossed the river. They could be in the woods, even now. May I stay and speak, now that I have found you? Back at camp, everything is endless arguments about where we should go. But you and I could decide much easier. With two, it need not be a tumult of voices. Yes, you hear the wisdom in it. I am glad, Frodo. I had feared you would not wish to speak to me, but it lightens my heart to know that you respect the wisdom of Gondor. For Gondor is where the greatest strength of men can be found, and is where the Dark Lord's gaze is most drawn. If you were to come to Minas Tirith with me, we could protect Gondor. What do you say, Frodo? No? Why do you resist the course of wisdom? These elves and wizards speak only of hiding and sneaking, and they would have us destroy the very thing we need to defeat Sauron. Why do you listen to them and not me? It is my people who will pay the price for the failure of this foolhardy errand. My people will pay, not yours, hiding far away in some hidden dell where the enemy will never find them if he even thinks to look. But he looks at Gondor, oh yes he does, and he will kill its people, and they will look to me and ask why I was not able to protect them. And I will say I had this chance, and I let it slip away. I know it is a heavy burden for you, Frodo. You are so small and weak. What if the ring had come to a man, a strong man of Gondor? Perhaps you could lend me the ring. Let me use it to save my people, and then I will give it back. How can you say that? The very thing we need to defeat the Dark Lord, but you refuse to use it. You run knowingly to your death, and you bring with you the only hope we ever had of surviving this war. The ring should be mine. Give it to me. Give it to me, you foolish halfling. You have no right to it. If you will not give it to me, I will take it. I will take it by force. The ring is mine. Give it to me. I don't know if I can defeat him. Do I put on the ring? I don't know if I want to put on the ring, but Boromir, calm down, my friend. Calm down. In desperation, you slip the ring on your finger. Escape from Boromir, Frodo. Run up the stairs to the east, to the summit of Amon Hen. Run, Frodo! Up the steps! Boromir may not be able to see you, Frodo, but other things might. Frodo, you do not know your danger. Sauron can sense the presence of the ring. He searches for you. You have stumbled blindly to the summit of Amon Hen. Your heart is gripped with a sudden feeling of terror. You sense a malevolent presence, searching. Sauron senses the ring.
Take it off! Fool! Take it off! Take off the ring!
You manage to remove the ring. Now you know what you must do. The terror of your recent experience is still with you, but you conjure the kindly face of Gandalf from your memories to try and fight back the dread. You can almost hear his voice as clear as when he spoke to you thusly in the library at Rivendell. There are a great many dangers facing Middle-earth, Frodo, and your ring is responsible, even indirectly, for all of them. The orcs of the Misty Mountains stir, and Lorien is threatened with fire. The horsemen of Rohan fight back the wolves of Isengard. Corsairs put to sea from Harad, and endless armies march from the east. The Mountain of Fire is aflame, and the Dark Lord's forces are in motion. There are men who stand against him, men like Boromir, son of the Steward of Gondor, and your companion. He and the men like him will fight for as long as they are able, but when all is finished, it seems to me they will be simply men. And for how long can men stand against such evil? No, Frodo. I fear that when all is reckoned, it will come down to one hobbit after all, and the strength he himself can bring to bear. Perhaps that is always the way it was meant to be. Whew. That does not bode well. Oh. Okay. Back with Galadriel.
This is one possibility among many. It is a troubling one, to be certain.
You tell Galadriel what you saw within her mirror, and a look of sadness crosses her face. The mirror shows many things, and not all of them come to pass. But this is one possibility among many, and it is a troubling one to be certain. They may have need of your help. I want you to travel south along the river Anduin and to see what has befallen our mutual friends. None of the visions I have seen in the waters give me any hope that they have avoided the dangers into which they walk. If you can aid them in even the smallest way, it may be enough. Nona should go with you if she still desires to do so. I have known her for just a short time, but I do not think she wishes for anything but to adventure with you. Let her be an aid to you on a dangerous road.
You will need a guide to bring you to the Falls of Warhorse.
But few of my people ever travel that far. No, do not shake your head in frustration. There is a guide who will suffice. His name is Corodan, and he is the elder brother of Sigliath. Galadriel smiles sadly. Yes, I see you remember our fierce champion. Without her twin knives and the skill with which she wielded them, the efforts of the Golden Host might have come to naught. Her death in the Battle of the Tower is cause for grief in all who knew her. You will find her brother is cut from similar cloth, but if Corodan shares her ability, he does not share her temperament. Find him on Talain Nedril, on the eastern side of Galadriel, and tell him that you need him as a guide along the Anduin. He's not called River Walker for naught. He is more familiar with the lands through which the Anduin flows than any elf in Lorien. Alright, so it looks like we need to find Corodan. He's right over there. All right, where is he? He's not up here? Where is he? Where is he down here? No? No, I'm on the completely wrong tree. He's down this way. It actually helps if you look at the quest guide to find out where you're supposed to go, right? I don't get that. Where is he? Is he over here? Is on Talain Nedril in the eastern side of Galadriel. Yep. So I'm right where I need to be in Talain Nedril. So he's somewhere around here. All right, where is he? Is he up? That's what I mean. I think he's up. Yeah, there he is.
The lady has spoken to me about this, and I would refuse her nothing.
But there is another reason why I would help you. Corridon looks at you, his eyes shining with a curious look of gratitude. You were a friend to my sister Sigliath in Mirkwood, when the Hidden God and the Golden Host journeyed to the fastness of Dol Guldur. You fought alongside Sigliath. How many times did you save her life, or she yours? I do not know, but I am certain it was more than once. I wish that the tides of fate had swept the two of you together during that final assault on the tower, rather than apart. For had the two of you been together on the stairs, perhaps she would have returned from Mirkwood. But it was not to be, and that is the way of things. I would be honored to accompany you south along the Anduin. Sigliath's friends are mine as well. We will need supplies, boats and lembas and paddles. Speak to Warhorse and Fengilf about acquiring such things as we will need. Warhorse will be in Talain Galadriel, and Fengilf will be near the surrounding hedge beneath Talain Gilroth, not far from the entrance to Calas Galadriel. Alright. So we'll get food and paddles for our journey. Alright, so let's get the stuff that we need together for the journey, and then we will make our way onward. Actually, we're going to go this way first. Yep. So I've had a chance also to play some of Guild Wars Reforged, and I kind of like what they've done. They've definitely improved the game engine, and the fact that they're giving away all the base game expansions for free is pretty nice. And there's Borghist. We need supplies for the journey.
I will give you enough lembas and other foodstuffs for 2 weeks.
You're preparing for a journey down the Anduin. You have come to correct elf. I will supply you with enough lembas and other goods to make such a journey comfortably. Traveling by boat will require you to disembark occasionally. There's a portage way you will need to take around the rapids of Sarn Gabir, so do not be so foolish to traverse those in the boats. And of course, you will need to beach them before you reach the falls of Warhorse. It is a long climb down the cliff face, but I've heard there is a way that was used of old. I will give you enough lembas and other foodstuffs for 2 weeks. Corridon can cover that distance in 5 or 6 days. That should suffice. Namari. Good. Alright, so now let's head to Fengilf and arrange for the boat and paddles that we will need to travel down the Anduin. This way. And there he is right there.
The Lady Galadriel is wise to send Corridon as your guide.
You need a boat for navigating the Anduin? Yes, I will provide one, and paddles besides. How many will be going with you? You tell Fengilf the composition of your party, and she nods. The Lady Galadriel is wise to send Corridon with you. He is called the River Walker, you know, and is the name truly given. He knows the lands on either side of the Anduin better than any elf I know. His sister Siglith perished in Dol Guldur. We were not close, she and I, for she had a temper unlike anyone else, and to me she was always sharp and stern. It is a shame what happened to her, even so. I am certain she did great damage to her enemies before she fell, and that must be a consolation to Corodon in his grief. The boat and the paddles will be ready when the time comes for your departure. Okay. So, there we go. Let's head back and talk to Corodon and Galadriel.
The last time I traveled south, orcs were gathering on the river bank.
You have done as I had asked? Good. The most important step of a journey occurs before you even leave home, the preparations for your departure. Make sure your weapons are cleaned and ready. The last time I traveled south, which was some weeks ago, orcs were gathering on the far shore of the Anduin. We may need to face them. Unfortunately, I lent my bow to Fimloth at Haldoreth on my return from that journey. Perhaps we can stop by her encampment when we depart, and I can recover my bow from her? I will use a spare until then, but there's nothing quite like your own familiar weapons, is there? Siglia spoke often of her knives, Lanchill and Eglasil, and I feel the same way about my bow, though it has no name. My sister was always better with names. But now, you should return to the house of Celeborn and speak with your Dunending friend. Tell her we are almost ready to leave. Alright. Alright, so where is Nona? She is this way. Come on, give me a horse. Thank you. You've discovered the company's pavilion. And there she is.
Wadu's sword is thirsty for more adventure.
I followed you here on the behest of a dream, and I will follow you wherever our road leads. If our adventure ended today, I would already have quite a tale to tell Swiftwitch on my return. I cannot imagine what awaits for us, but it will only add to the record of our deeds. Wadu's sword is thirsty for more adventure as well, and if we come across more Easterlings or their fell allies as we did in the swamps, I will be more ready than I was last time.
This land of elves is a long way from Enidwaith, a long way from my people.
I am grateful for the healing hearts of Galadriel and her people, and for the lady's willingness for me to see her city. But there is something strange about this place, and I must tell you the truth. It is no place for me. I want my feet upon the ground and my foes in front of me. This land of elves is a long way from Enidwaith, a long way from my people. I am ready to depart. Perhaps things will feel more familiar with me as we journey south along the river. Book 7, Chapter 4, Along the Shore.
I lent my favorite bow to Fimloth, and now she has lost it.
I am not pleased about this. Corridon lowers his voice and turns to his apologetic friend. No, Finloth, I am not upset. If those orcs were as numerous as you report, you were right to flee. A bow is a bow, and the lives of my friends come first. I will search the worlds of Thingolad for the orc that picked it up as you escaped. Are you of a mind to join the hunt? Your Durlending friend has already agreed to fight the orcs with me as well. Perhaps we can make a game of it. The first of us to find my lost bow will be the victor, but I shall be the happiest of all to have the bow back in my hands. So I get to go kill some orcs. Alright, let's get buffed up here and go do some killing. Oh, and I need to log in my cook, and I need to make some more supplies. I do wonder, can I? Yes, East Minette. I can use all the new stuff. So let me go ahead and see what I've got here. Let's see, shared storage, which is frickin' full. Come on. Yep, frickin' full. Let's see. I need to clear out some stuff. There we go. We'll clear out some steel traceries. Hook. Scholar. Tailor. Cook. Jeweler. Cook. Jeweler. Jeweler. And that one's just a Supreme Cook. We'll go ahead and open that. And let's go ahead and open these and move them into storage. I can get rid of them later. Those are level 50 runes. We can get rid of those. Oh, I never even used my Virtue XP, so we'll use that. And I've already got the quest, so let's close that. And let's see here. I've got three Eastmanet Scholar cases here. Hold on, what do I have in supply? There's probably some stuff. There we go. I can scribe that scroll case. I've got 15 Scholar cases, and I've got 8 Tailor cases just sitting around. So let's go ahead and use those real quick because I'm going to need to craft some more supplies soon. We can start burning these up. These are just all the scrolls that I've been picking up in my travels. I haven't paid for a single one of these, so... And I'll just make sure I have used them all. Already no. And these are the tailoring ones. Oh, nice. I was able to use all the tailoring scrolls. And we want to save these. 3, 8, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. There we go. Cloak of the Wold, which I can already make, and it's a level 82. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some. And this is level 80 armor, which I can't quite use yet. So that's the tailor. How about the scholar stuff? Eastman net candles? Oh, I can make an Eastman net candle, which will increase the chance of critical success. I can make that. Oh, nice. Eastman net Book of the Whisper Draw is a level 80, so I can't use it. Ooh, I can make fire and light oil. Eastman net book. An atlas. Might, vitality, parry, block attack. Yeah, not bad. And some roomkeeper's tools. So not bad. So nothing that I really need to worry about right now, but we'll go ahead and get all this going. Alright. Let's go kill some orcs. Oh, I'm already on the start. Haha, yes. 2 tattered shadows to start our day. Couldn't wait until I had done my first kill, since I did so many killing for deeds the last time, and none of them were on levels. So. There we go. I'll grab that backpack, because I can always use more supplies. There we go. Well, I defeated 6 orcs, but I didn't find the bow, so... Here we go. Okay.
You did not find the bow. Nona and I did not either.
The orc that seized it must have already left this area. Pity. This bad bow does not fire as accurately as the other did, but I am still a deadly shot, so do not worry on that score. Did you know how dangerous Nona is in combat? I did not think that her lendings were more than mere barbaric hill-dwelling men, but she is a deadly warrior indeed. I underestimated her, and I will not do so again. If we are surprised by orcs as we journey further along the Anduin, I will be glad to have her along.
Whatever orc took the bow must have fled the area.
You did not find Corran's bow? We did not either. He seemed surprised, but I was not. Whatever orc took the bow must have known that an elf would come looking for it and fled the area. This orc is lucky it did, for its hunters numbered 3, 2 elves and a fierce warrior of the Ukluth. Flight alone could have saved it. I am sorry Corodon does not have his favorite bow, but I still enjoyed the hunt. Do you think you can humor me on one count? I understand we must hurry, but this should not take long.
Let us take a detour to Stangard, so I can thank Horn.
Book 7, Chapter 5, A Stop at Stangard. When we were last in this region, I was wounded in the swamp, and you brought me to the nearby outpost of the Horselots. I was a wounded enemy to everyone there save one, the Rohirrim man called Horn. He spoke on my behalf, and when you suggested that I be taken to the Elfwoods for healing. You interrupt Nona at this point and tell her it was actually Horn's idea. A confused look crosses her face. Really? Well, then that is one more thing for which I should thank him. And that is what I want. A brief detour to the outpost of Stangard so I can give him my thanks. Perhaps you can have him meet me here? I do not think I would be very welcome once again within their walls. Okay, so we want to head to Stangard. Well, let's go ahead and I think I actually have a port to Stangard. Is it there? The Rushgore, Ethelberg, Stangard. There we go. Oh, and here's Bingo. We actually do need to pick up the next Bingo Boffin quest as well. So let's go ahead and talk to him while I'm here. Let's pick up that quest.
Ooh, we are off the edge of old Bilbo's map now, for certain.
I do not really know where we should go next. We are off the edge of old Bilbo's map now, and our steps have taken us into unknown territory. We could travel into the kingdom of Rohan proper, I suppose, but... well, maybe there's another course we should take. They love their horses, you see. Look around at how many of these equine figures have been carved into the buildings here in Stangard. And this is a mere outpost beyond the bounds of the kingdom. For my part, I have never really liked horses very much. They are so large and frightening, always stamping around with their heavy hooves and snapping at unruly hobbits with their strong teeth. I was almost bitten by a horse when I was in my tweens, you know, and I've never managed to forgive the things. Do you think we could nip down to the eastern gate of Stangard and ask Sabert if we might enjoy a walking tour of the kingdom of Rohan? It's not a very large place, is it? If our feet will do just fine, then I say that's what we should do, and leave the horses quite out of it. Oh, good old Bingo. He definitely is set in his ways, isn't he? I personally like my horse. Or in this case, goat. So we'll talk to Sabert first for Bingo's burden.
What brings you to these lands?
Is the kingdom of Rohan suitable for expediting on foot? You're asking this is a good idea to walk from one end of Rohan to the other instead of riding a horse. Sabert interrupts into raucous laughter, and though in a somewhat impolite response, you must admit that you rather expected it. Bingo is not going to like this. Of course he's not. Let's go give Bingo the bad news before we talk to Alfric concerning Nona's stop here, reaching out to Horn.
Is Rohan small enough for us to walk across it?
What did Sabert have to say about walking across Rohan? Is the kingdom small enough for that to be reasonable? You tell Bingo that Sabert really thinks it is better to ride atop a horse in Rohan. He would say that, though. The Rohirrim certainly do love their horses. I do not feel the need to climb aboard one of those fearsome beasts. I say we walk. What do you think? Is this our adventure or Sabert's? I say we can use the exercise. Speak with me when you are ready to begin your walk to Rohan. I will go and talk to... Well, actually, let me see if this is going to change my quest. It shouldn't change my location any.
I am ready for a good
Yep,
bit of walking.
it is going to travel me.
If you are.
So I will travel later with him because I saw the travel on it. It's like, I don't want to travel quite yet. I need to talk to somebody first before we head out. So we'll go back down here and we'll talk to Alfric about Horn's whereabouts and solve that little riddle before we continue on.
You were looking for Horn. Good. Take him with you.
Oh, it's you. Still traveling with unsavory types, are you? Alfric looks you up and down, and the disgust on his face is clear. You're looking for Horn? Good. Take him with you. Take him and be gone. You'll find him up the hill. This doesn't sound good. This does not sound good at all. There he is.
How is the Dunlending girl? Did she survive?
I did not think to see you again. How is the Dunlending girl? Did she survive? You tell Horn that the healing arts of Galadriel were sufficient, and that Nona has come to Thingolad, and wishes to thank him in person for his kind words and actions. Oh, I see. I am glad. Horn seems conflicted about something. When you ask him if everything is all right, he sighs heavily. It seems there's no place for me here anymore, Sanchantra. I am no longer welcome in Stangard. My fellows feel as if I have been somehow tainted by stepping foot within the Elfwoods and by speaking on behalf of a Dunlending. Well, they no longer trust me. They want me to leave by sunrise tomorrow. You ask if there's anything you can do to help. Well, I do not have many possessions. If you bring me my harp and my writing supplies, I will be ready to go. My harp is in the tavern, and my writing supplies are in Wada's house, where I have been staying. Sigh. Alright, well, let's go into Wada's house first, which is going to be over this way, I do believe. Oh, it's up there. I went down too far. Alright, I gotta hop on my horse and go around. I knew I should have made that left turn at Albuquerque. Okay, there's that. Yep. Okay. And there's Horn's harp. So we'll talk to Horn, and then we'll go ahead and talk to Bingo.
I am not welcome in Stangard, but where can I go?
Thank you for bringing me these. I am not welcome in Stangard, but where can I go? By order of the Theoden King, I am not to return to Rohan until my term of service in Stangard is finished. Horn looks uncomfortable. Where are you traveling? Could you use another companion on the road? Do not wish to intrude, but I believe my place is with you and the Dunlending girl for whom I gave up. Well, there was no life I gave up. I only did what was right, while my fellows failed to see it. You tell Horn that he is welcome to travel with you as far as he will. Thank you. I owe you a great deal for this. An aimless life would still suit me. Your goals are now mine, and the dangers you face, I will face as well. Okay, known as in Haldoreth. Do I have a port to Haldoreth? No, I do not have a port to Haldoreth. So we'll go back and talk to Nona first, and then, because talking to Bingo is going to force me to travel, and I'd rather try not to backtrack too much. I got backtracking to do anyway, so we'll head back to Haldoreth, and we'll talk to Nona.
Welcome and well met, my friend.
That's weird. Oh, Thingalot, that's it.
This confirms what I suspected about the Horse Lords. Cruel even to their own.
And are not deserving of our sympathies. I will speak with Horn and thank him for his words on my behalf, and give him my sorrow that he has suffered for me. But I'll also tell him that he is now better off, and need shed no tears for his lost fellows. We will be ready to leave when Cordoran says we should leave. Speak with him when you are ready to go.
Our band of companions grows.
A Dunlending girl, a Rohirrim man, and 2 elves. Sounds like a joke, does it not?
We will still fit in the one boat, but it will not be comfortable.
Chapter 6, A Journey by Boat. We will still fit in one boat, but it will not be comfortable. I do not think we should recruit any more companions, unless you fancy swimming alongside the boat. Are you ready to continue our journey?
Let us go to the boat together.
I want to have a good seat and a comfortable place to rest my arm as we paddle. Okay, well, since I have a port back to Stangard, I will go ahead and do Bingo's separately at this point, since this is another travel now. So we'll do this one, and then we'll do Bingo's.
I have journeyed on the great river often, and know its swirls and eddies like no other elf. The river Anduin is as familiar to me as my own shadow, but it is still a journey of some days. We must stop here for the night.
That is far enough for today. Horn has already seen to the fire, so now we may sup and take some rest before the night watches begin. We will leave in the morning at first light. It is not good to travel further south on the Anduin at night unless the need is considerable. The waters become more treacherous the nearer you get to Sarn Gebir. Let us rejoin our companions. It is a good fire and built quickly. Thank you. You are fortunate to have friends among the elves. You would not want to make this journey without a guide, and Corodon appears to know what he is doing. But it is not seemly for a man of Rohan to mingle with elves, as you saw in Stangard. Of his kind, my people have little to say but this: long-lived and dangerous. They have more to say of the folk of Dunland, but it is none of the kind, and I will not disturb the girl's ears with any of it. I regret Nona's ill welcome at Stangard when she had need of aid, though I understand its root. Her people and mine have a long and unhappy history. I have no quarrel with her personally, but our shared friends and duties make us allies. Nothing more than that. The Elf Queen was right to send this guide with us. He knows the waters and how to keep a boat afloat, which is more than the daughter of Suvolch knows. Were it up to me, I would lead us south on dry land, with springy turf underfoot and no fear of foundering. Nona lowers her voice, a rare event for the Dunlending woman. The boat is not large enough to keep us from speaking, but as you saw, this horse lord managed to avoid addressing me in any way once we were on the river. If he has a grievance with me, tell him to add it so I may respond appropriately, with words or with Wadu's sword. I have become tired of his ability to look all around him, but not in my direction. Whatever direction that happens to be. We have some time before we should begin the night watches. Would you find some tale-telling agreeable? I find that the weaving of a good story among companions around the fire can be a pleasant way to pass the time. Have a seat and listen. I will begin, and perhaps our companions will have a tale to share as well. I grew up in the Golden Wood, but I spent most of my time exploring the wilderness. My sister, Siglith, stayed in Lorien for long years, but not in idleness. My skill was with the bow, but hers was with knives. She made them herself, and each was deadlier than the last. I returned from a journey once, convinced I had become the greatest of archers. Is that so? I wager you cannot hit this wooden target from 50 paces. I accepted and strode 50 paces. When I turned to fire, I saw that my sister was right. She had hewn the target at its base, and it had fallen into the grass. We laughed and laughed. That is my tale. Do you have one to share? Ooh, Angmar, Dol Guldur, the Fords of Isen, speaking the Nazgul, or have no story to share. I will speak of Dol Guldur. I am familiar with this tale, as it involves my sister Siglith. The sorrow is still with me, but it is good to think of my sister again. I would like to hear the story. I will begin. You speak as your role fighting evil in Dol Guldur alongside the Golden Host. This axe of Mithril, not even the rule of this tower can keep Mazog a prisoner. You speak of Mazog and the Axiglia Burk and of Siglith's heroic end. After a time, you come to the end of your story. I shall go next. My tale concerns King Fengel of Rohan, the grandfather of Theoden King. It is a sad tale, given the happenings of late, but you may find it interesting. King Fengel came to the throne when he was very young, and he ruled for 50 years. Though long, his rule was ill-starred. He was prone to greed and made many enemies. In the last winter of his reign, he was hunting north of the Entwad on a cold afternoon. An elderly woman stumbled upon his camp. She was lost and hungry. "A scrap of bread, if you please, my mighty lord. I am lost and cold and hungry." "Who are you, crone, to beg from the crown?" "If you seek warm food in your belly, find some churl whose bed lies unwarmed. Or find some game and kill it yourself." King Fengel threw his own dagger at her feet and sent her away into the dark night. "This is the kindness of the horse lords, is it?" Horn did say that Fengel was a foolish king. "He did say that, and I say he spoke true, but it does not seem an uncommon trait among the horse lords." The king's men were horrified, and they searched for the woman. They found her at dawn, frozen to death at the foot of a tall boulder, the king's dagger still in her hand. She had carved a curse into the face of the stone, along with her name, Werglind. This is what she carved into stone. Feckless Fengel, fool I named thee, grief shall be the get of thy greed. No lord of your line shall long live, upon thy seat no son shall settle. Kin and kingdom your craving have killed, until the night of your mark is mended. Werglind. Horn sighs heavily and continues. King Fengel was furious, and he ordered Werglind's body burned and the stone destroyed. But no man of his company could move her, and every hammer and mattock they set to the stone shattered upon contact. King Fengel himself assailed the stone with his sword until the blade shattered, and a shard pierced his thigh. The wound festered, and King Fengel died of poisoned blood on the first day of spring. Many in Rohan thought the curse was ended, but now that Prince Theodred is gone. Well, that is the end of the tale for now. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, there is something I do need to do, so before I go on with Nona's tale, allow me to take a quick break, and I will be right back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Thank you for your indulgence. My partner got her back adjusted today, so she can't get out of bed, so I had to take her puppy dog for a walk. His name is Barkley, and he's a good puppy. So, yes, here we are. We're camped at the side of the Anduin, and we're going through stories, and it is time for Nona's story. I do not have the fiery words to turn a phrase that Corodon and this man Horn have. I write my tale at the height of my enemies, with Wadu's sword as my quill. Thank you, Destiscarda. I have no story to tell. Everyone has a story, Nona. What is the origin of the sword you bear? The horse motif is not of your people. The sword came to my brother Wadu. He used it to slay a great beast. What was this beast? A large animal of some kind? A bear? It was a Gwriber, the mighty dragon spawn of the mountains. Can it be? I know of no such creature. There is much about my land and people you do not know. That may be so, Nona. I am sorry if I have offended you. Your brother must have been a great man to defeat such a foe. He was. I think that is enough tale spinning for one night. I will take the first watch, and I will wake you when it is your turn. We will set out again, at first light. We will leave at first night, but for now you should get some rest. In the morning, we will continue our journey down the Anduin.
Behold, the Argonath, the pillars of the kings.
And here we are in the Croftlands. Talk to Horn first.
They are not my kings, but there is still something majestic about the twin statues.
Many songs have been sung about the men in whose likenesses they are carved, and I know most of them by heart. I will not sing them now. There's too much we must do here.
Friends of yours came this way. Friends bearing a burden of some malice.
Horn speaks quietly, for what he has to say is meant for your ears alone. We spoke of a great many things on the boat, and I do not begrudge you for speaking in generalities. You told me enough to know your errand here is important. Friends of yours came this way, friends bearing a burden of some malice. Whatever they carried, it was sought by orcs and perhaps others as well. We will need to find what happened to these friends of yours and if their burden had been lost. Horn raises his voice to include the Rohirrim man standing nearby. This man saw our boat drifting down the river, and he hailed me from the shore. His name is Fremric, and he has come with a party of Rohirrim from the wold. I would have us help his people if they desire our help. But first, we must prepare our own camp. Speak with Nona and Corridon for their thoughts, and then collect sticks for a fire. I will do the same. There was a flash. Ah, too fast. Way too fast. Okay. So let's talk to Nona real quick.
I do not trust this Fremric, but Horn wants us to help him.
I do not like the way he looks at me from out of his eye's corner. If he's not careful, I will teach him the way of my people with Wadu's sword. But Horn wants us to help him. I do not understand this loyalty to the Horse Lords. They cast him out. He should hate them for that. I will not impose my beliefs upon him, but I do not understand this.
The Lady Galadriel entrusted me with knowledge of our true mission.
You spoke in general terms on the boat to Horn and Nona, but I know why we are really here. The Lady Galadriel entrusted me with knowledge of our true mission, and I will not betray that trust. While we are here in the East Wall, I think it is fine for us to help Femric's people. That is clearly what Horn desires, but we must also keep alert for signs of our mutual friends. They came to this land, that much we do know, but what happened to them? That is a mystery, and it is one that we must find the answer to and aid them, if we can. But first, Horn is right. We need to get the sticks to make a campfire, or we will have a cold night. But I will talk to Fremric real quick.
I need your help if you can aid me.
I am Fremric, a man of Rohan, proud and true, and I need your help. Orcs have crossed the river, and now they swarm throughout this land, all along the east wall of my homeland. I came south from the Wold with a party of some 30 riders to investigate what could have drawn the orcs across the great river. When we arrived, the force was even larger than we expected, and they set upon us. We drove them away, but suffered many losses, and our camp is in disarray. My people could use your help to restore the camp and make safe the border of Rohan. Go to the southwest, near the passage into the Norcrofts. Make your presence known to my brothers, if you wish to aid us. Ah, we're near Monhen. Argonath. Ethel Angels. Mansig's encampment. The Norcrofts. This quest must be turned in before completing the quests of Langhold. Is that in here? Okay. Ah. So that's before we get to the Wold. Okay. So let's go see if I can find some sticks. Ooh, there's an Uruk archer. We'll take him out as soon as I get buffed up. Already seen one Nazgul in this area. I would not be surprised for a second. Uruk Slayer the Eastmanet. And it is a 100-200. And Orc Slayer of the Eastmanet, which is probably also a 100-200. Yep. So Orcs and Uruks. That always cracks me up. Alright, so there's the sticks that I need for this quest. Well, there's the Argonaut. Boy, I'll tell you, Standing Stone Games, they did a, excuse me, Turbine, who created it originally, did a damn good job keeping everything intact from the stories. I will definitely give them credit for that.
You found some. Good. Now remove the supplies from the boat.
I will combine these with the ones Nona and Corridon have found, and we will soon have a decent campfire. Will you remove the supplies from the boat so we can assess what we have left? You reach into the boat and remove the remaining supplies for apportioning. Some droughts, healing potions, superior apple and cheese pies, and I get to choose one. Bacon-wrapped flapjacks, vitality and agility. Crumpets, vitality and might. Oh, let's get the vitality and agility. We'll get the bacon-wrapped flapjacks. There are enough supplies for a short stay, and you divide them on the rest of your companions. Book 7, Chapter 8. Reading the Signs.
Parth Galen may be a good place to begin our search.
I think it is good to help Frederick while we can, but always keep your eyes open for the real reason we are here. As you pass southward through the woods of the east wall, remain alert for a grassy lawn alongside the Underwood. That peaceful space is called Parth Galen, and it may be a good place to begin our search. And that would be... Okay, so we want to head this way to the encampment. That's where Riders Afoot goes. And then chapter 7 to 8 is down there. So let's go this way. An ancient evil slayer. I dig what they give with Radagast the Brown. Yeah, I remember meeting him up way back when in the Lone Lands. And that's also a 100-200 quest. I've been questing in the Lone Lands. Yes, I really think they did. I think they were definitely... And I tip my hats to Turbine and SSG because they picked up design later in the series. But they did a great job just keeping with the stories and keeping everything up to date. I really do. They did a fantastic job, I think. There we go. That's much better. Company. Two more tattered shadows. They got to be making up for all the encounters that I missed on the last stream. No, that's not it. Mansek's encampment is this way. That must be an orc village. We'll go up there later. What I actually want to do is get to Mansek's encampment, use the millstone, and then go ahead and catch up Bingo Bothan's quest. That's what I'd like to do. Here we go. All right, we're going the right way. Okay. Where in the Lone Lands are you right now, Destiscara? Probably lost my highest level original character to the transfer 60. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Gives me an error when trying to log him in. His support forms pretty much things it's toast. Sending a ticket to there's a problem, but I doubt I will get him back at the end. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's got to be terrible. I would be very upset if I had lost a character like that. And East Wall Explorer, here's Mansig's camp. Pick up the Stable Master.
Aid the horse lords.
There should be... There's a millstone. We'll go ahead and pick up this millstone. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little side quest as I can now get back here, and we'll go ahead and catch up Bingo Boffin's quest line to here. It's really okay. It's been ages since I played him, so I'm not all that worried. I think I lost a lot of gold and trophies. Yeah, I would be very upset about that myself. I mean, on this character, this character alone, I've got 100 gold, and I know I've got at least another couple of hundred in reserve somewhere, right? Yeah. So, I've got some gold too. I would be upset if I lost any of my characters. Okay, so we're going to head back to Stangard and go ahead and catch up Bingo Boffin's quest, since his is another instance. Since he chooses to walk to Rohan.
I am ready for a good bit of walking, if you are.
I would have never suggested this at the start of our journey, but now that we are seasoned adventurers, and I am not afraid of the prospect of such a hike.
Thanks to his fear of horses, Bingo has decided that his journey in Rohan will take place on foot.
Of course it would. A walk will do us both some good. We do not need to ride horses in Rohan. Our feet will serve just fine. And if you do not believe me, just walk with me and see. You will be amazed at how quickly the time passes once we are moving again, my friend. Who needs horses? My feet are ready for some walking. This way, Rohan awaits. Look at this bridge. How large is the kingdom of Rohan anyway? Would you say that it is as large as the Shire? This bridge is longer than it looks. Willem ran on ahead. He's probably on the other side already. This looks to be a lovely land. Why would anyone want to rush past all this beauty on horseback? Some people like horses. I just don't understand those people. And there's Willem right there. They are big fighting beasts. I've never liked them. I cannot understand why the people of Rohan are so fond of the things. And there's good old Willem Whisker. Hello, Willem. What do you think of Rohan so far? Willem looks at you blandly as if to say, "What took you so long?" Suddenly, his ears twitch, and the sound of guttural voices reaches your hearing as well. Orcs approach from the south. Hail, travelers! Your deeds spark louder than any words might. See that you are not friend of the orcs. Oh, that's a female, excuse me. I see that you are not friend of the orcs. I am Igwulf, and I am on an errand of some haste, for the message I bear must come to Stangard as quickly as it may. I will not tarry long, though it seems we four share a hatred of the orcs, and could spend some time swapping tales. You introduce yourself and your companions, and Igwulf looks appraisingly at Bingo. Bingo, yes? I did not see you raise a weapon against the orcs. I am really more of a writer than a fighter. A bard, then? No, not really. Good. I have never much liked bards. Where is your horse, Bingo? I don't have one. I didn't think I needed one. You are a strange little fellow. Get a horse. There are towns nearby that should have one for you. Farewell, my friends. Take care within the mark. She seemed very nice, but I think Igwulf is wrong about the necessity of riding a horse in Rohan. I have done just fine until now, have I not? And we would not have appreciated that bridge back there nearly as much if we had galloped or cantered or trotted past it at speed, would we? No, we would not. Igwulf said there were towns not far from here. Let us find one of them and continue our journey. On foot. And let's see where this quest takes us. And we are now in Langhold. Now, before... Yeah, I have a quest that must be completed before quests in Langhold. So I'm going to go ahead and... I'm not going to complete that quest yet, but I am going to find the millstone. Southeast, there it is. The millstone's down this way. We'll go ahead and pick up the millstone real quick. And then we'll go ahead and... so I can get back to Langhold. There it is. There we go. See, Dala's quest, Dala does not have a quest that I can complete because I have to cross the bridge in Rohan and talk to a Rohirrim must be turned in before completing the quest of Langhold, so I'll need to wait on that one. So at this point, we are going to port to... oh, Gap of Rohan... do we want to go? Must hold. No. Oh, where do we want to go? Orthbrund, Dagor's camp, Grimwald's camp. We'll head back to Stangard. There we go. That's where I need to go. I kind of had a feeling it was literally the bridge that we had just passed over on Bingo's quest, but because that was in an instance, I didn't get the trigger to complete the Rohan Awaits quest. We'll pass by Parth Celebrant and then head onward. Here we go. Yep, we're almost there. I know exactly where we need to go now. What quest is that one for Bingo's Burden? 78, so it's going to be a little while before we catch up to him again. So Like I said, I had a feeling this bridge looked very familiar. There it is. Langhold Guard.
Will you aid the Horse Lords?
Rohan, yes, you have come to the northern border of the world. The town of Langhold is not far if it is hospitality you seek. I am from there, but I am on an errand to Standgard now. Just head south along the road. You will not miss Langhold, where Uhtred is staying. Crossed into Rohan at last. And there's a Beast Slayer deed. 100, 200? Yep, 100, 200. So they're dropping a combination of Rittermark and Kellenard hides. So that's good. I'm starting to pick up additional Rittermark. Oh, old ruffian. And now Brigand Slayer. 100, 200. Here we go. Oh, I do need these oak branches because I've got to start working on my forestry skill. And we're almost at Langhold. Once I go ahead and complete that Langhold quest chain that called Rohan Awaits, then we'll go ahead and head back to the campsite and continue on with the main story quest. There we go. Rohan Awaits.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
You have come to the gate of Langhold, traveler. State your business, please. What brings you to our door? And there's the deepest of quests in Langhold. So now that I've done this quest and I have the site so I can get back here and talk to Bingo, now we are going to go ahead and head back to Mansig's encampment in the, where's that? In the Croftlands, and go ahead and continue the main story quest, which will eventually lead me back here to Langhold, because this is part of the main story. So we're going to go ahead and remove this quest. And we'll talk to Cleobald. Riders afoot.
You're here to help? Thank the Hammerhand for that.
We could use every pair of strong arms we can get. We rode from Harwick with enough men and horses to investigate the troubling reports of orc activity in the east wall, but we were not prepared for what we found. As we began pitching our tents and unloading the supplies, we were set upon by a contingent of orcs. The battle was made the fiercer by its sudden joining, and though we drove off the enemy for a time, we suffered many losses. Ask me anything and I will tell you, but if you have a moment, could you see to the comfort of our wounded? Who leads this band? Mansig leads his company under command of Harding, Reeve of the Wold. The Lord of Hardwick is troubled by the report of Easterlings gathering in the Brownlands, but he cannot ignore whatever has brought so many orcs across the river into the east wall. He had charged Mansig with investigating the cause, and here we came with as much haste as could be mustered. I see. From where did you come? This band has made event for all reaches of Rohan, from Snowbourne into Sootcrofts to as far north as Thornhope and the Entwash Vale. Most of us hail from Hardwick, as does Mansig himself. It's my home as well. We rode south along the road when we were given this charge, stopping only at the flood wen to water our horses. We arrived at nightfall yesterday, and that is when the orcs were set upon us. An orc ambush. How did the orcs surprise you? You may very well ask that, but I imagine Mansig had asked Wilfrith and Fadwulf the same question. We knew there were orcs in the east wall, we knew that they were here in great numbers, and still they managed to ambush us. I do not know how it happened. One moment we were making camp, and the next we were beset by a raiding party of shouting orcs. He shudders. We were too confident in ourselves. We will not make that mistake again. Easy words. What can you tell me of this land? I will tell you the truth, friend. The Rohirrim do not like to come to this land. There were often orcs on the far side of the river, and small parties of the villains would cross in the order to steal horses from the mark. Something had brought them across in far greater numbers in the past few days, but I know not what. It has not improved my opinion of the place. I see. So let's go ahead and help the wounded. There we go. So I've helped out the injured as best as I can.
You will find work here, if you seek it.
Thank you. Many of these men will need to be borne back to Hardwick to rest from their injuries, but until we can return to the Wold, we must do what we can for them here. Ask me any questions you like, and I will answer them as best as I may. You will find work here if you seek it. We must recover from the orc attack and regain the initiative if we are to succeed in our errand. And I'm starting to pick up some silver tokens of the Ritter mark. And I get the bead to complete quests at the far wall. Complete all of the East Wall's quests. I have to complete them all to get some points, golden tokens of the Ritter mark, a title, and some virtue experience. Well, Woodblack's got something for me.
Give me 3 good archers from Snowbourne, and I could keep a dozen orcs at bay.
Even in poor light or foul weather. The bows of my people are well made, but it is the strength of a Rohirrim's archer's arm and the sharpness of his eye that truly makes him dangerous. Orcs are different. Their bows are crudely fashioned, and they seek to make up for their poor training with numbers only. Still, an arrow fired poorly from hiding can pierce even the bravest man. On occasion. Defeat archers throughout the east wall and bring me their bows for breaking. I do not want a stray arrow to fell even a single man more. There's Radwolf.
Several of my friends have gone missing. I have not seen them since the attack.
You heard about the orc attack? They fell upon us without warning as we were trying to get this camp established. We are still trying to recover from it. Look around you. If the orcs attack again, we may not be as fortunate as we were the first time. Several of my friends have gone missing, and I have not seen them since the attack. Look for Langmanu and Swithlik somewhere in the east wall. I'm worried about them. Langmanu was too proud to ask for help if he needs it, and Swithlik is not as bold as he was in his youth. If my friends are lost and frightened, they will probably seek out streams or falls that dot the landscape of the east wall. Look for water, and you may be able to find what happened to Langmanu and Swithlik. I can do that. And here's Mansic himself, who's in charge of the encampment.
Look at the state of this camp.
My men had not been here for an hour when a band of screaming orcs fell upon us. The walls were not yet up, and some of my warriors were away seeking firewood. The men of Rohan are made of stern stuff indeed, as are their horses. We did not despair, though we were beset upon all sides. My fighting men were able to keep the orcs at bay until my other warriors returned. Then it became a rout. Many of the orcs still lurk in the surrounding woods. If you are a friend to the men of Rohan, I ask you to remedy this blight on the east wall. Wilfred tells me there are several types of orcs in this area, of different sizes, types, and loyalties. Orc, Uruk, it's all the same to me. Remove them, and I will count you a friend. I can do that. Definitely take care of orcs. Needless to say, it's my speciality. And Wilfrith has a quest for me.
I am something of an expert on orcs.
You are here to help? Good. I trust Mansic, of course, but he did lead us into an ambush. He is my captain, and I will not forget it. But I have seen more of war than he has. He may have underestimated the orc threat here in the east wall, but I will not. I am something of an expert on orcs, and have fought some 100 of the creatures. They come in all shapes and sizes, and the sharp eye can distinguish other differences as well. To many of my people, an orc is an orc, but I can see subtle differences. I think we are dealing with several distinct tribes. Defeat orcs and uruks in the woods of the east wall and collect their arrows from their quivers. By studying them, I can determine what tribes we are dealing with here in the east wall. I can do that. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any more quests here. So let's go ahead and start defeating orcs. Like that orc right there. And that Uruk right there. And there's another orc. Oh, and we'll grab that sword hound. Good, there's some oak branches. I can definitely use those. I think I want to go this way because there's still there are two people that I do need to find while I'm out here. I was told to search near water to find them. Oh, that's a grisly sight. Ah, there's one of them right there. Or at least his horse. You point Langmanu in the direction of the camp. And right there must be Swithlik. You point Swithlik in the direction of the camp. Bingo! 2 more tattered shadows. Ah. There we go. Got that one right. And I still need to collect some bows. And there we go. So we'll go ahead and part back to Mansig's encampment, and we'll turn in those 4 quests. And see if there's any more to pick up. So we'll go ahead and start at the front here with Utlax.
Look at these things.
Bows of foul craft. I knew the orcs cared little for the craft of bow making, but I did not expect them to be this crude. So one of these bows didn't fall apart in their filthy hands. Still, an arrow fired from one of these can still kill. We had best not forget that. I cannot bear to handle these bows any longer. Take them and throw them in the fire over there. The orcs will loose no more arrows of the Warhorrim for these crude things. Oh, and one more thing. Do not burn these bows in any of the cook fires. It would simply be offensive. Be sure the fire you choose is not being used to cook someone's meal.
Even the smoke of the burning smells foul.
Thank you for helping to destroy those crude bows. Every blow of the orcs helps our chance of surviving here in the East Wall.
I have been known to lose my temper on occasion. It is true.
Pointless flight. I have a confession to make to you. I know that I seem level-headed, as fine an example of a steadfast man of Rohan as you could hope to meet, but I have a secret. I've been known to lose my temper on occasion. Nay, look not with disbelief. It seemed that we would not be able to hold out against the orcs that ambushed us upon arriving at the east wall, but we prevailed. As the orcs broke and fled for the safety of the trees, I loosed my prized red-fletched arrow at an orc retreating back. Did not need to loose, but I was angered. I let that arrow fly and saw it pierce him in the leg. But he did not fall. He kept running, and he took my prized arrow with him. He ran to the south. Perhaps he followed the streams that flow out of the back into the east wall, using them for guidance. Go that way and find his body, for surely he has succumbed to injuries by now. And please retrieve my prized arrow. I can do that. So we'll talk to Radwolf, and we will turn in his quest, Lost Friends. You forgot to say that they were horses. Did I? Oh, I thought it was clear. I am Radwolf, noted horsemaster and saddle trainer of the Harwick. My best friends are horses. I am certain I said that. No, you did not.
You found my friends.
Langmuir and Swithwick are both fine and found their way back here, thanks to you. It seems to me that you are a good high elf to have around.
It is my duty to see to the needs of our horses.
It is a task that I relish, for I know its importance. The success of our mission depends in no small part on them. When Langmuir and Swithwick fled from the orcs, the saddlebags must have fallen from their backs, but they did not return with them. I kept much of their feed in those bags. Search the woods between this camp and where you found my friends southeast of here for their fallen saddlebags. Food is not enough. They will need water as well, but I do not trust the streams here. Too many orc boots muddying the waters. So a waterfall on your way to rescuing my friends. I know, but there are a lot of dead orcs lying in that stream. Follow the river upstream, though, where the water flows from a much higher ground. Perhaps you can get fresh water from the waterfall before it flows past those bodies. Here, take this water skin and fill it at that waterfall. That way my friends will have fresh, clean water to drink. I guess that's something else I'm going to have to get used to, huh? But we'll talk to Mansek. Hopefully he's a little more even temperament. And he is the one who wants the expedition to East Wall.
Very good. An enemy of the orcs is a friend of mine.
There is more to be done, however.
These searchers are looking for something.
Orcs are mindless and bloodthirsty, and I have fought enough of the villains to know what drives them. They are simple creatures, driven only by hatred for the good people of the Mark. A shadow crosses Mansek's honest face, and he pauses. And yet, there is something unusual about these orcs, something I've not seen before. My scouts report that I have seen orcs crouched in the woods, clearly looking for signs of something. It's not the location of my camp, for they already know where it lies. Nay, they seek something else. Find these searchers and defeat them. If there's something the orcs want to find, it is important for my men and my homeland that they not find it. I can definitely do that. And Wilfrith wanted me to bring the arrows that I got off of the orcs and the urks.
Let me see the arrows you have collected.
Ah, yes, this is what I suspected. Wilfrith holds out a pair of the short arrows for you to inspect. The length of the shaft is a clue to its origin. This arrow was designed to fly a short distance, fairly accurately. It is of the type used by the orcs of Mordor and is primarily a skirmisher's arrow. It is well suited to combat among the trees of the east wall and would be less of a threat upon the plains of Rohan. The danger of the orc that fires this arrow is the danger of surprise. If you know he is there, he will be less effective. And Wolfworth then presents to you a pair of much longer arrows. These are more troubling. The length of the arrow tells me it is used with a much larger bow, drawn by a stronger arm. The Uruk that fires this arrow expects it to travel much further than those fired by his orc brothers. This is an arrow ideal for combat on the plains of my homeland, and I fear it was designed for that purpose. The orcs and the orcs in the East Wall are equipped for different purposes. They possess different goals, but I can tell you one thing they share at least. They hate us all, and are our enemies.
Is it possible for the various tribes of Orc and Uruk to work together, as men do?
Above his station. They may not be working together, but the various tribes of the Orcs and Uruks here in the East Wall are each our enemies. It is possible for them to set aside their differences and work together, as men do. I am afraid of this. We must oppose them all, wherever we can. During the Orc ambush that greeted us shortly after our arrival here, I saw an Orc from Mordor carrying a high-quality sword. It was not of Orc make, their weapons are crude and ugly, but this blade caught the light and it seemed to shine as the Orc swung it about him in deadly arcs. It is not right for such a weapon to languish in the hands of an orc. I did not see this orc after the battle, so he must have escaped to the east wall somewhere. Find him, and take the sword from him. Many of the retreating orcs fled to the northeast. Begin your search there, the camp the mortal orcs have established between here and the wold. See, I knew I was heading back to that camp. Okay, let's take a look at the map real quick. So, looks like we want to head this way. Oh man, he was so fast I didn't even get a shot off. That sucks. We'll grab this Rittermark Scarn. And that Rittermark Scarn. And that more work. More work. There we go. Go. Something else I'm going to need to have to do is get some company. Well, first off, I have to survive this guy. Like that. Here we go. I still need to find 3 more searchers. I'll make that 2. So, find the orc. Okay. So now we need to head south. Well, there's one of the saddlebags right there. I need to find 3 total saddlebags on the east wall. There's a second. And there's the third. Hunger and thirst. That's what I thought. Oh no! This is the waterfall mentioned by Redolf, so we'll go ahead and fill up the water skin here. All right. So now I need to, let's see, above his station is over there, whale away, and Pointless Flight is not that much farther south, so we'll hit Pointless Flight first. How far away? Only 200 meters? Okay, that's not bad. I've almost leveled. Should be. There he is. Near a cave. Before the entrance to a dark cave lies the body of a fallen orc. He seems to have succumbed to its wounds for reaching the dark safety of the cave mouth. Embedded in his leg, you find a red-fletched arrow. This must be Utlek's prized arrow, which you take. So that probably means he's going to send me into that cave. If that's where the orcs are coming from. Alright, let's head back to Mansig's encampment. We'll turn in these quests. And then I will probably need to log off for the day because, unfortunately, my partner is in need of my assistance. But we will turn these quests in first. And pick up a new set.
You say the orc died in front of a cave entrance?
You found it. Ah, look at this arrow. It is the very best one I possess, and it was foolish of me to lose it as I did, but I was angered. Thank you for returning it to me. I will use more care in the days ahead not to waste it. I want to make sure it is spent on a worthy opponent and not on some retreating orc. Did you say the orc died in front of a cave entrance? I am curious about this cave you discovered. What more can you tell me of it?
We don't know what might lie within that cave, but that fleeing orc wanted to get there.
I think you should go back to the cave mouth and investigate. You should finish helping out around the camp first, of course. I do not want to deprive my friends of your aid. Go investigate the cave once everyone here is satisfied and our camp is prepared for whatever the orcs may have in store for us. And I just made level 76. So I have another point available, but it's not a point that I still need 2 points to increase anything else. 2 points to the next rank. Is there anything I want on this side for 1 point? For every focused bow skill. Is that a focused spender or a focused builder? On every focused bow skill, plus 1% to range damage. I could add another volley. Using a skill to cost focus gives you a stacking damage buff that lasts until you next use a range skill which generates focus. Okay. Could increase my perseverance, which is my press onward heal. And I think I'm going to need that, so let's do that. So we'll talk to Radwolf, who wanted me to bring the saddlebags for his friends.
You have done well.
I can now provide food and water for the horses under my care for a time. I thank you. You've been a great help not only to me, but to Langminu, Swithlik, and the other men and horses as well. And Mansig, who wanted me to take care of the orc searchers to find out what they were looking for.
I do not need to know what they were looking for to be glad they have not found it.
You did well. Keep aiding my men. What is good for Rohan is good for all peoples of this land. Alright, so our next quest is going to be to head to that, to find the orc wielding the Soul Sword and then head to that cave. So, at this point I am going to go ahead and head out for the day. I would like to thank everyone for joining me today. I think we had a good time. We're deep into Rohan now, and things are looking a little interesting. I've got a bunch of work to do off camera to be ready for my next stream this Friday. Friday at 4 p.m. right here on Twitch. I also go ahead and I run a YouTube channel where all these vids are posted, as well as shorts concerning the various cat, chickens, and dogs that are around my house. And I also have an Instagram where some of those stories are posted up as well. All of those links, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch, are down below. And yes, you also take it easy, Destiscardo. And you too, my friends. You take it easy. And I will see you all very, very soon. Be safe, and I'll see you on Friday. Take care.